Oh man, I'm about one more press interview away from having to bring some reading glasses in here, guys. I'm being honest. These numbers are getting a little foggy on me.
All right, Coach, just how do you feel about the team's performance in the season opener, and what are your key takeaways?
Thought again, had a lot of respect for Evansville and Coach Ragg, what he's done, known him for a long time. Competed against each other when we were in junior college. Took over that program, won 5 games their first year, 17 the next. Like a lot of people nowadays in college basketball, had some defections due to the portal, but obviously he's recruited really well. And I think the first half, defensively in particular, was a sign of respect for how much we respected their offensive ability. Knew it was going to be a challenge because they can play 5 out. They put you in space. They can invert their offense a little bit, post up their guards. Their 5-man can shoot. And I just thought our first half defense was really good, man. Like the intensity level, the recoveries, we're getting everything contested. And then we talked about it at halftime. We knew if you take the foot off the gas just a little bit, they can start making some threes in bunches, which is what happened. And then you're taking the ball out of the net every time, and you get a little clunky on offense. But definitely something we can learn from. But I think you got to give them a lot of credit. They increased their physicality. They played with a lot of spirit, knew they weren't going to lay down. And, we just it's early, and that's the beauty of this thing. You can take the good from it and take the bad from it, watch it on film, and go get better. But loved how our guys supported each other. Thought Jasper Floyd got us off to a tremendous start, kind of just took any anxiety and nerves off of the team and just really settled in. And then we were able to get stops and go play, and the ball was moving, kind of finding the right guy. And, really almost played a perfect half of basketball in the first half.
So many new pieces this year. You lost your top 6 scorers. It's kind of a new team. Were you happy with the way the pieces all kind of fit together, at least for the first night?
Yeah. And like I said, I love how these guys support each other and how they root for each other, and they understand that we do have good depth, and it can be a lot of different guys on a lot of different nights. Jonathan Massey struggled a little bit in our closed-door scrimmages, and obviously he was tremendous tonight. We had some other guys that played really well in those scrimmages, didn't play as good tonight, and I think that's going to be the beauty of this team, is the depth. And, that's not even including Alex Cotton and Tyron Mason that we really like. Just didn't have a chance to get them in. But can play a lot of different ways, and those guys respect each other and play for each other. So was really excited how they supported each other through the course of the game.
Coach, you already talked about Jasper Floyd, but him and Aiden Wright, both transfer guys. How was that able to kind of transcend the game? Just their ability to make a big impact in that first game.
Yeah, both those guys, and Massey and Trell included, but those guys specifically, and all of them, they've played a lot of college basketball, and they've had a lot of experiences, a lot of big game experience. Our challenge is just learning how to do it together, because they've all had a lot of individual success. And like I said, I think both those guys, they're very mature. And the more you get to spend around time with them, they kind of have an even kill personality, and they have a lot of experience. And I thought their experience was on display tonight.
And just thoughts on how the bench played tonight. Guys like Jonathan Massey really stepping up. You already mentioned it a little bit, but they just seem to be really effective tonight. What do you see?
Yeah, I talked about it. With Dave before the game. I really feel like we have 8 or 9 starters. I really do, and for us, starting is more as much as just about the lineup combinations that we like to play as it is who starts, and we've always kind of been that way, Tyler Perry came off the bench his first year, Ruben came off the bench his junior year, Jason Edwards came off the bench a lot last year. So it's not like an indictment. It's more just over the course of 40 minutes, what lineups do you like to see, knowing that you have to sub. And we knew we were going to have to sub early because fatigue, and I did think we got a little fatigued in the second half. There was a couple stretches I looked out there, and I was like, man, both of these teams are gassed. But, yeah, like I said, I love the depth of this team, and it can be a lot of different people on different nights.
You were without rebound. Evansville by 17, and on the glass it was 15-3 overall. How important is getting those second chance opportunities, especially going into this late part of the schedule?
Yeah, we've really challenged that bigger guard group: Rondell, Stone, Massey, Alex, Tyron. Like, we've really challenged them in practice the last couple weeks to go rebound, and we had. Like I told our guys in film this morning, I feel like one of the things we've gotten better at the most the last 2 weeks is going to offensive rebound from that position in particular. Mulai and Bilo are great rebounders and offensively, but like that position, we've really challenged them. So to see them kind of like take the challenge and go do it, and even in the first half, I think we missed 18 shots and we had 8 offensive rebounds in the first half. So we almost got like half of our misses and we didn't miss much.
How much better do you feel about this combination, this group of guys, a new team, after seeing them perform like this in their opening?
You know, we got a lot of work to do. I don't want to be like Coach Cliche 101, but like it is, you know, one of many games. But it was. I told Coach Estelle and Coach Phil when I was sitting in the back, like today was like surreal a little bit. Because even though it was 8 months ago that we played our last game against Seton Hall, it didn't really feel that long. And so even at shoot-around, it felt like we just finished the season, except for, like, you're looking out there and there's not a lot of familiar faces. But and you just never know. That's the truth. You know, you do not know what's going to happen when you put on real uniforms for the first time with fans. But, again, I think that's where the collective experience of the group playing college basketball, not necessarily playing together, but playing college basketball, I think that's kind of what you saw. And there was definitely a peace and a calm out there, not a lot of like, you know, I didn't think we got rattled very much.
That went on a little 18-2 run up in that first half to go up 20. Just how much momentum did that give you all?
Yeah, I mean, it was huge. I mean, you saw we talked about it at halftime. We were talking about it in timeouts. We had full knowledge of how well they can shoot the ball, you know, and I don't know if you guys saw the box scores of their closed-door scrimmage against, like, Lipscomb, but it was, like, 92-90, and they made a ton of threes, and so, like, we knew what they were capable of. I wasn't surprised at all in the second half. I was disappointed we couldn't sustain our effort, and I think there's a small difference between, like, being there and then, like, really being there. And the difference with really good shooters, like when you're kind of there, like first half, 0 shot, a couple air balls, you know, because we were like really hard and physical. Second half, you let them step into a couple. And so, yeah, we needed every bit of that 18-2 run.
In the first half, you all were able to get 8 threes spread off with 4 people. How important is that to get a hot start, especially from 3 with not just one guy, but many different guys?
Yeah, it makes everything. It made it hard. I thought they started out doubling the post, and I thought we made really good reads out of that, and we were able to get some wide open threes. We were able to get some threes in transition. I thought our guys just really made the extra pass, and our spacing was good. And we talk about it a lot. I mean, this team can shoot the basketball, in particular when you're getting like those kick-out, paint-touch threes. And I thought even in the second half we missed some, or even in the first half, I mean, we made 8. I mean, I thought we could have made 10 or 11. You know, I mean, Latrell's a lifetime 40% three-point shooter, 1,000-point scorer. Those go in.
I thought Mulai moved his feet really well in space tonight. Got a few deflections in the pick and roll. Just defending their floor spacing bigs pretty well. What does that say about the development of his defense since he's been in this program?
Yeah, you know, he really anchors us defensively. You know, he is one of the best defensive forwards in the country. He has full understanding of, like, our ball screen coverages. And, you know, one thing, I think I've told Brett this before, like, his conditioning level is really good for a man of his size. And he can really move for someone that is that big. And he is a weapon defensively. And then even today, like I said, being able to guard on the perimeter, in space, get deflections. I think 4 steals, I'm sure, is probably like a career high, I would imagine. Yeah, 4 steals. And again, it's a versatility, switchability, can switch ball screens, can switch on the perimeter and really move his feet. And now he really understands where he's supposed to be. One of the freakiest plays of the whole game was like, it was like transition. They threw it to the baseline quick. He drove it, and Mulai was on a dead sprint and they threw a pass underneath, and I don't know if y'all remember that, and he went and stole the pass. I mean, that was elite stuff.
And, can I go one more?
Yeah.
Just what adjustments do you feel like need to be made moving forward into the matchup on Thursday with Wayne in the back?
Don't know a ton about them, honestly, yet. I mean, we'll obviously it's a quick turnaround. We'll get to it. Watch this one. We'll meet together tomorrow. Watch a little bit of film on this one. Start prepping for them, and kind of use these opportunities for small glimpses into conference tournaments and NCAA tournaments and, your MTEs where you're going to get a quick turnaround, and you got to be able to, process what just happened, wash it, good or bad, lock back into personnel, scouts, and then, the challenge will be, how long you got to stretch that 25 minutes of really good basketball we played tonight. You got to try to stretch that to 30, to 32, to 35, to 40, and play really long stretches of almost flawless basketball. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, all right, guys. So seemed like a great opener for you guys tonight to the season. What were your thoughts on the way you guys played?
I think we started out really well. I think it was a great team win. We all contributed in some way. We had our little stretches. They fought back really hard in the second half, and we had some of that was because of us and our mental lapses. But overall, I think it was a really good game, and it was game one. We got a lot to build on. So,
Jasper, you led the team with 23 points. Just how do you feel about your personal performance today?
I think it was okay. It was solid. I tried to start us off the right way, and my shots were falling to begin with. I had the first turnover, and after I made the first three, I was like, all right, I had to get that back. So, it was a solid performance, but, I got to, don't get too high, don't get too low, and, focus on the next game.
Yeah, Jonathan, there's so many new pieces to this team. I mean, they lost their top 6 scorers after last year. Are you really happy with just the way it looked with having so many new pieces going into a new year like this?
Yes, I felt like it was wide open. I felt like the team was wide open, the roles were wide open, and I also felt like the conference was wide open. So I was like, why not go and take something?
Do you feel like you played, Jonathan? You had 18 points off the bench. It seemed like you were really playing well in your first game here.
I feel good. I feel like I just got to keep rebounding, and that's going to just get me going. I don't go into games thinking about scoring. I just think about how I can help my team win, and today those rebounds got me going early.
And just how nice was it playing against someone other than your teammates tonight?
Man, nah, that was good. Of course, we were ready to play. You seen how we came out and started the game. We were locked in, but credit to them for second half for fighting back, and they can make shots. So we just have to stay on the gas.
You guys went on that huge run in the first half. I think it was 18-2. Did you just settle in at that point where you guys got it going on both ends when you ripped off that run?
Yeah, I think it starts with the defense. You can't go on a big run like that without getting stops. So, we was locked in on defense, on the defensive end, and, we just got to, continue to keep that throughout the whole game.
Hey, Jonathan, you did a really good job in those baseline post-up scenarios. Is that something that you see being able to bring to the table, just working out of the post, as a forward as the season continues?
I mean, yeah, I just want to just keep that as a weapon. Don't talk too much about that.
Okay.
That's everyday work.
That's everyday work.
9 guys saw the floor tonight. Depth has not always been a big thing for North Texas. How important do you think the depth is off the bench, especially for you, John, that it was important going for the rest of the season?
I mean, I just feel like this team is low-key loaded. I feel like we have a lot of guys that can do a lot of different things. Like tonight could have been my night, Jasper night. The next game could be Trail 10 night. We just have a lot of good pieces, and that's what being a good team is all about. Just finding your niche, finding your role, and excelling at it.
And Jasper, you were setting your teammates up really well. Did a great job playing off 2 feet in the pick and roll tonight. How do you see that translating for the rest of the season? Just you as a playmaker for this team?
I see that translating really well. Going into the year, one of my big goals was leading the country in assists. And, I think that'll help our team out a lot. But, if you're going to play me like I can't score, I'm going to score the ball. So,
Yeah.
it just opened up tonight. But, that's going to be a big role for me and the team moving forward throughout the season.
How would y'all kind of describe the offensive rhythm out there? Did it kind of feel fluid out there in the first game together?
I would say low key in the first half it felt really fluid. We only got stagnant at times when we were winded, but it felt really fluid. We were just fighting for spacing. That was a big motto for this game, just fight for spacing. And like I said, like Jasper coming off ball screens, making them go under. If they playing him like he's not a scorer, he's gonna score. If they collapse, he's kicking it. Like it felt good out there.
And did y'all have any nerves or excitement going into the day, and how did you guys kind of just channel that?
I don't feel like it's nerves, but it's always that feeling, that butterfly feeling that I think each player and every coach gets, each game for real. Not only the first game, but that anxiousness to want to perform and do well as a team.
Yeah.
And what kind of happened there in the second half? I mean, Evansville really started knocking down some shots there.
Props to them. They were knocking down some tough ones, but we kind of let our foot off the gas, not purposely, but like they started knocking them down.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I believe Aiden Wright had 14 points tonight, made a few threes for y'all tonight. Did a really good job relocating off ball to get open. How important is it to, especially Jasper, you as a creator, have a guy like that that is going to be really reliable from outside? At 10, we call him 10. 10 is, he's a tremendous, player, and his biggest attribute to us is his shooting. And for me as a point guard, I love that shooters, and I think we have a lot of them on the team. And I just feel like anybody I throw it to for real, if they open, they're gonna knock it down. So his ability to shoot the ball is really well, and he's gonna be a big part to this team for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, guys.
Of course.
Thank you.